y'all, this is DecoToes. Welcome back. We have another colorful video here on my channel. I was looking forward to this video so much. We are going to be trying on and reviewing and swatching and all of that my March palette. So I have been purchasing only one palette per month, and the palette that I decided to purchase for March is this NATASHA DENONA pastel palette. And as I start off this video, I will insert a video here of me opening it, close-ups and swatches so you can see what those looked like. But let me tell you, this is the star of the month on this channel. This palette is stunning, so that's a little spoiler for you. I just wanted to get into the whole pastel vibe. So my nails, I painted them last night, late at night, just to match for this video because I just had to. My shirt, of course, is pastel-y, and in this video we are going to be creating these two looks, which, by the way, I am completely in love with. So I have purchased this palette just a few days ago, earlier this week, as soon as it became available on the Sephora app. And this palette is a $65 palette, which is a lot for a palette. However, I am super happy that it is not one of NATASHA DENONA's more expensive, bigger palettes that are over $100. This is the midi palette, and this is like the perfect size, really, because I guess if you really want a good quality palette and you absolutely love the color story, I'd say it's okay to splurge on that. It sure was justified by me to splurge on it. So it does say that it is a limited edition palette. It's got 15 shades in there. It's got some duochromes, some cream to powders, and so on. I did use 12 out of the 15 shades for those two looks. And guys, if you want to see how I created these two looks, you just gotta keep watching. Alrighty, so my face makeup is pretty much done. I did put a very white base on my lids, and I've also set the primer with a white eyeshadow. I just really wanted to give my eyes the base that these pastel colors need to really help them pop. So hopefully that will do the trick, and let's get started. I am going to try to make these looks as colorful as possible, so I might be using more shades than I normally would. But we're going to start with the shade Feather. And I will be using all of my BK Beauty brushes, and we are going to pop that shade in the crease, but like on the inner half, so right there. It's like a sunrise warming us up. Guys, that first shade is absolutely gorgeous. It is a very light shade because it's a light color. All pastel colors are very light, but it definitely shows up, and I love the way this looks. So to move on, I am taking Tuli, which is a darker pink, and we're going to put that in the crease on the outer half. This is what we have so far. These colors definitely do show up. They show up very well. They do not blend away, and I'm impressed so far. Next, I'm going to go in with Bora on a slightly smaller brush, and we're going to pop that in the outer corner. Let's try a more dense brush and really try to pack this in. We're on a coaster. Alright, so I think that shade looks absolutely stunning. Again, these pastel shades are meant to be light, so I love these. Now we are going to try my latest invention, so to speak. So, shimmer shades are best applied with your finger, or toe in my case. But because my toes are fatter than fingers, and shorter, a lot shorter, it's really hard for me to like really get in there, right? I've said this in the videos before. So I was trying to figure out what to apply it with. I used to use one of those like sponge applicators. Obviously you can use a brush and spray it with some setting spray. I'm not a fan of doing that So I knew there had to be something better, and I've tried it with different shimmer shades, and I'm really hoping it will work with this as well. Alright, so here's what I started using. This is like a silicone applicator for a lip mask. This one came with the Laneige one, and I was like, you know what? Let me try it. Okay, so let's see how that works. I am taking the shade Dainty on that. Let's see what happens. We are going to apply this on almost the rest of the lid. Wow. I'm telling you, this works. These shadows are coming out so intense because they stick to the silicone so well. It's not absorbing any of the product. It's not going in between the bristles, not between the sponge grooves or whatever. It really does the trick. So now, because this one is so short, I would prefer a longer handle one. So maybe I should just find one. But I love this. I am going to go in with a little bit more of it and see if we can make it even more intense. I really hope the camera is picking up how beautiful this shade is. I am impressed, and that's an understatement. Now I'm taking the shade Illusion, and I'm gonna pop that in the inner part. I love this. I really do. I'm just going to go back into Bora, which is that purple shade, and kind of make sure that they're nicely blended. And we're just gonna go for it. Normally I probably would have kept it within the pink and purple family for the lower lid, but we're gonna go in with Adriatic and see how that turns out. And why not go totally crazy? And we're gonna go in with Zest. This color is very intense in the pan. I know it's probably not going to be like that on the eye, but let's see. Been spending all your time lifting me up. Alright, so here's the thing. I have watched a few videos on this palette and people reviewing it, and they were saying the shade Zest does not show up well on the lower lid. I don't know if you can see that very well, but it shows up on mine pretty well. It's intense and it's beautiful, and this palette is like exceeding my expectations, to be very honest with you. And of course, again, you need to like pastel colors to buy a pastel palette. I mean, that's kind of common sense. And because I do, I am loving these shades. Like, I've got no words. Alright, I'm taking a tiny bit more of Illusion, and I'm going to pop that in the inner corner just to brighten it up even more. And the first eye is completed, and I'm loving it. I will go ahead and at the end of the video put on eyeliner and false lashes, so you will see the close-ups and the completed two looks. But before I show you that, I'm just gonna go ahead and do the other eye. And we're gonna start off with Brisk, right in the crease. And I do want to try to build this shade up as much as I can. And as you can see, even the first layer looks really, really nice. But let's see what is going to happen if I build it up. And I'm just going to try to pack it on a little bit. That is beautiful. I'm just gonna go ahead and stick to the same brush, and I'm taking Bubble, and we're going to put that on the outer corner. And again, I'm going to try to build it up and really pack it on. It's like a sunrise warming us up. These go on so well. They're just amazing. So I'm taking my applicator again, and I'm taking the shade Duet. I believe it's a duochrome. It's definitely a pink to a blue. And so I thought I'd pop it on here. I'm taking Limoncello now, which is a shade from the Tropic palette, which I do not own, and as far as I know it's discontinued. So I'm gonna put that towards the inner corner and in the inner corner. I didn't know that pastel eyeshadow colors could do such amazing things. To be honest with you, I am in awe of the way that this is turning out. And later on I will show you my only other pastel palette that I own, and they don't compare at all. So I was trying to figure out what to do on the lower lid, and I decided I'm just going to go in with Bubble. I also really want to try the shade Mint Frost, so we're going to put that in the middle of the lower lid. And we're gonna finish it off with more limoncello. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and finish off the eyes off camera, and I will be right back to show you the completed looks. And here's a close-up of the finished looks. Alrighty, so let's chat about this little beauty, huh? I'm literally at a loss for words right now because, like, I saw this palette online, right? And I was like, that palette is beautiful. It's right on point for spring. NATASHA Denona is always incredible. I love her eyeshadow palette formula. But I was like, are these pastel colors really going to be as good as I would like them to be? And like I've mentioned before, I only have one other pastel palette, which I will show you in a second. So my expectations were low, I guess, but I also knew I was not going to keep this palette if it wasn't as good as I would like it to be. So I just didn't know what to expect. I honestly did not know what to expect. So this is the palette that I have. This is a Moira palette. It's the Like a Princess Exotic Series palette. This is what that one looks like. It looks beautiful. I can't say that it doesn't. However, these shades are so chalky, so powdery, that I feel like they blend away. They do not layer up very well. You can't really build them up. I love pastel colors, but I must say, the Moira palette, I do not like one bit. I've literally used it twice, and I've had it for months and months. Actually, it looks kind of untouched, but that is because I never reach for it because it's not performing the way I would like it to perform. So that was my only pastel palette comparison that I have ever used in my entire life. So just as a reminder, here's the inside of the NATASHA Denona pastel palette, and I gotta tell you, this palette is absolutely stunning inside and out. It performs like a dream. I love it. I absolutely love this palette. These shimmer shades are incredible. The mattes, you can build them up and they're still pastel, but you can clearly see them on my eyes. I keep looking in the mirror here and I am just like in awe of how amazing these look on the eyes. They didn't blend away. I had no fallout on my face. There is a little bit of kickback in the pan, but that's not really something that bothers me. You just gotta make sure you don't like overly dig into it. So ever since I saw this palette, I had a look in mind. Right away, I thought of like colorful but light eyeshadow with bold false lashes. And it makes the lashes pop, it makes the colors pop, it makes everything pop. So now some people say that this is more like a companion palette. If you do like a bolder look, if you like more depth and all of that, obviously you can add this to another palette and combine them together in looks. One of those palettes that would be really good is also a NATASHA Denona palette, and it is this one. It's the Circle Loco palette. Well, say hello to Expo. What are you doing, buddy? Can I finish? Can I finish, please? So this is the Circle Loco palette inside, and these, again, very colorful, but these are darker colors. These are brighter colors. Definitely would be great. These two together would be amazing. And here they are together. I mean, you can definitely intensify any look from the pastel palette with the Circle Loco palette and you are going to look amazing. I mean, for anybody who loves color, these two, now that I see them together, look incredible. With all that being said, however, I love pastel colors. I love light looks as well. And I love these two that I created. So I've got nothing against this being like the only palette that I put on my eyes for a look. I don't need to mix it with anything, but I will try it. I will definitely create some looks using both of these together and see what I can come up with. I think that'd be really fun. I am certain that I will be wearing more looks from this pastel palette in future videos, so look out for those. But this is it for this one. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified every time I upload. And I will see you again soon. Bye.